in the know for Monday, June 10, the 162nd day of 2024. There are 204 days left in the year. Good morning, EMB. Guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Plus, we'll give you a chance to win with the water cooler question. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Have you had an earworm lately?
I don't think so.
Earworm that gets stuck in your
Well,
ear and you can't get rid of it?
Sort of.
Yeah, the best way to do it is to get rid of an earworm is to embrace it. Listen to the song all the way through at full volume, ideally sing along. The idea is that confronting your brain with the full version will make your earworm end when the song does.
Okay.
So just go ahead and just get it over with, I suppose.
I guess.
And maybe you will purge yourself and then go on to some other song that might annoy you. But at least now you know how to get rid of that one, too. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Lexington. He's Sam Gormley and the Sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
I'm a little bit tired. How about you?
Probably not as tired as you. I gave up early.
Oh,
But
quitter.
speaking of earworms, if you spend much time at Kentucky Proud Park, you're going to end up with the baby shark earworm or maybe several earworms.
Yeah, I've
But,
enjoyed getting to hear all of those earworms over the last, couple of weeks.
But it was well worth it last night. Congratulations to the UK baseball team. They are headed to Omaha for the first time in school history, at least for the College World Series. They might have been there on a field trip for some reason, but they are going as a qualifier
Okay.
to the NCAA tournament after sweeping Oregon State. Swept the Beavers in 2 games last night. I think they allowed maybe 3 hits in the 2 games. I think only 1 last night. The 2 runs that Oregon State got were walks. They were bases loaded walks. But it was an exciting night. Sam, did you stay up for the duration?
Yes.
I gave up finally about 10:40. I was like, this could go on a while.
It was over
And,
probably about a quarter after 12.
Yeah, I think what I saw in the release was it was like at 12:03 a.m. Eastern time. No, at 12:33 a.m. They were doing the celebration and all that stuff. So, but it came down to basically one play. Kentucky was in dire straits a couple of times and even looked like they could walk in the go-ahead run, but got out of trouble. But the Cats, being aggressive like they have been all season, they had a very heads-up play. Oregon State had a very boneheaded play. Sophomore pitcher didn't cover home like you're trained to do, and that was the deciding edge. You want to hear Darren Hedrick's call, Sam?
I have heard it, but I'll hear it again.
Hear it again.
2-2 game in the 7th. The 0-2. And he struck him out, but the ball got away from Weber. McCarthy to third. There's nobody covering the plate. It's a foot race. He dives across, save. Nobody covered home for Oregon State. And McCarthy scores from second as Grant Smith arrives at first.
That sophomore pitcher, relief pitcher that came in that was supposed to be covering the plate, he was very effective to that point, and it was almost like he got rattled because he knew that he cost his team the run there, and that was the game that made the difference. Did you like the Superman slide?
I mean, there's no other way to do it, really, in that scenario. And apparently, I think he tweaked his hamstring on that slide.
Did he?
Because that's why he ended up
Nolan
leaving the
McCarthy.
game. McCarthy, yeah.
Nolan McCarthy was responsible for all 3 of Kentucky's runs last night. Right, he RBI'd in the first 2 and then scored the third one himself. So Kentucky unbeaten in the NCAA tournament between the regional and the Super Regional. They are heading to Omaha. They tied 45 wins. 45 wins in the season so far is ties the most in school history with the 2012 team. The crowd of 7,558 set a new all-time Kentucky record, previously set on Game 1 the day before. They just keep managing to squeeze more people into Kentucky Proud Park. So, Sam, how does the College World Series now work? There are 8 teams going to Omaha?
Yeah, they will play either Georgia or the Fighting Roger Lushes. And
the Wolfpack.
So they will play today, Georgia and the Fighting Roger Lushes, and whoever wins that game will play Kentucky and Omaha. I think either Friday or Saturday. They'll probably wait to have all those dates until that game's completed tonight. So either it might be released later this evening, or at some point early by the show tomorrow morning. But and then you're in your own little bubble or your own little quad, so it splits into 2 quads. So like Kentucky could not play Tennessee until the national championship game.
Okay.
Which, I mean, can you imagine Kentucky versus Tennessee for the national championship game? That would be...
No, I mean, I guess I would be happy to get to that game. But
so the other 2 teams in their pod, if you want to call it that, Florida and Texas A&M.
Perhaps as a sign of things to come in college athletics, the College World Series is all SEC and ACC.
Correct.
And what I mean is eventually there will be just basically 2 super conferences. It may be the Big Ten, it may be the whatever, but it's nobody else outside the SEC or ACC gets to the College World Series.
Kentucky officially killed the Pac-12 last night, though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they did. They they may have some Olympic sports that are still competing, but pretty much
the National Track Championship I believe was over the weekend.
Okay, well, so it all has
so Kentucky ended it for them.
So I went looking for one of those fitted caps that Kentucky was wearing last night, and have been unsuccessful in finding one. But the UK was the red, white, and blue.
You can't find those.
Patriotic look.
You can't find those.
I'd like to find one laying outside someone's locker and just say, hey, can I have this?
Yeah, those have been a thing for a couple of years now, and it's always been the ongoing thing that you would have better luck finding, something rare, finding a map on the back of the Declaration of Independence than finding that thing.
I bet Kelly Craft has one.
She might not even have one.
It's a hard get. Congratulations to the Cats getting to Omaha. It's a new territory for them. Also, some of the big banner headlines from the weekend. My entire life, I have seen this famous Earthrise photo. It was taken from the moon on Apollo 8's mission. Apollo 8 was the first time that the Apollo missions had left lower Earth orbit and went to the moon and back. And when they rounded the moon and they saw the Earth rise for the first time, it gave this iconic photo with the perspective of the moon in the foreground and the Earth in the background, which just has such a distinct look that we know the Earth looks like compared to the other planets. And that photograph was taken by Apollo 8 astronaut Sanders. William Sanders is his name. He's 90 years of age, and he died in a plane crash over the weekend. He was piloting his own single-engine aircraft from, I think, World War II era is what he was flying, and crashed in around the Seattle, Washington era. So he said that this photograph was his greatest contribution to the space program, along with making sure that the command module and service module worked. But we will have this image forever, and it was the first color photographic image that we had of the Earth, and it never seems to lose its impressive value to me. Also, if you have people who may be vacationing along the Gulf Coast over the last weekend and maybe in the coming weeks, Florida authorities are warning of shark dangers along the Gulf Coast beaches. 3 different people were attacked over the last few days. And you don't often see the purple flag. I think if you go to the beach, you kind of know what the red flag means, but purple means, and which were being used, warning swimming dangers of dangerous marine life in the area. So when you see the red and the purple together, that pretty much explains what you need to know. But a lot of people will say, well, I mean, sharks live in the ocean, or that's they, typically, historically haven't been this shallow, and it becomes more frequent. But part of the reason is because they're seeking food, and the schools of fish that are closer to the shore this time of year, that are swimming along the shore, the sharks are attracted to them, and that's what brings them nearby. So you got to be careful. Shouldn't be surprised to learn that marine life lives in water. Less in the Gulf, more out in the oceans, but certainly happens in the Gulf too. Some headlines closer to home: a non-compliant sex offender convicted of molesting 2 children and a woman wanted on multiple felony charges were arrested in Clarkson after their vehicle ran out of gas. I alluded to this story on Friday morning when we were talking about overdose deaths in Kentucky declining, and then I had shared with you that the sheriff had shared with me an incident from the previous day, from earlier in the day when he shared it with me. This happened Thursday morning, happened on US 62, technically in Clarkson, but basically in nearby the Kelly Company, where you have the center turning lane now. You can read all of the details. There was a German Shepherd in the vehicle. There was someone who had left on foot to go get gasoline because the car had run out of gas. There were 2 people who had been asleep. There was vomiting. There was everything was involved, and more detail than I am going to belabor you with this morning. But should you want all the details, they are at K105.com.
And we should really quick mention too that's not hair in his mugshot. That's tattoo.
It is that's. That a lot of people do that, though. They just say, well, I want to keep my same hair look forever, so I'll just get it tattooed. Maybe sometimes people do that like lipstick too. It's like, go ahead, and it happens from time to time. Strange story that continuing to evolve a little bit. A third person has been arrested in the disappearance of an 8-month-old Ohio County baby not seen by family members in a month. State police arrested 56-year-old Ricky Smith of Reynolds Station and charged him with criminal abuse of a child, tracking and possession of a controlled substance, and several subsequent charges. He's being held in the Davis County Detention Center. He was arrested after police searched for 8-month-old Maya Tucker of Reynolds Station. Troopers arrived at Tucker's home Wednesday to conduct a welfare check, but the baby was nowhere to be found. She has not been seen for a month, and her parents, 29-year-old Tesla Tucker and 30-year-old Cage Rudd, are not cooperating with investigators. Rudd has been charged with abandonment of a minor. There's several other charges as well. Sam, do either of you know any of the details on this story?
There have been more arrests. Odd. There have been more arrests since then as well.
Even like over yesterday where there was an arrest?
Correct. Yes. I believe the grandmother was arrested as well from that. Yeah. Did you mention Billy Smith?
I don't even think I mentioned Billy Smith.
Okay, so Billy Smith is the grandmother, and she was arrested by KSP yesterday, and so that's another one. So I think there have been 4 now arrests in the disappearance of this, and I believe grandfather is supposed to be in court today, or maybe the parents are, or something.
If it's been that long, you obviously have the most grave concerns, but pray for the return of that child, the safe return of the child. A state police trooper was assaulted and had his gun taken away following a multi-county vehicle and foot pursuit early Friday, but the suspect was taken into custody around a half day later. On June 7th, shortly after midnight, a trooper attempted to perform a traffic stop on a Chevy Equinox on Clarkstown Road in Nelson County on a traffic violation. The vehicle did not stop when the emergency equipment was activated and a pursuit followed. It continued on to Sulphur Lick Road in Marion County, and then it ended when the road turned into a dead end. The driver left the vehicle, fled on foot into a wooded area. After a short pursuit, the trooper was able to catch up to him, but the suspect assaulted the trooper, took his gun, and fled from the immediate area. The suspect, who was found and arrested at 11:30 a.m., has been identified as 31-year-old Dustin Thompson of Nelson County's New Hope community and charged with several things. I guess, Sam, I should point out that is hair.
It is, and he seems proud.
Yes, something.
The statewide expansion of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library is now complete, meaning that for the first time, every preschool child in Kentucky can have the gift of reading delivered to their home, building a love of books that can last a lifetime. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library mails a free, age-appropriate book to children each month from birth to age 5 and has been shown to have significant partners with local nonprofits or governmental organizations to register children in their area. And with the addition of the Kenton County Public Library, every county in the state is now served by a local partner. So that's good news. I know this has kind of been spearheaded. There are lots of people who were interested in championing this cause, and then during COVID, First Lady Beshear came along and said, let's just do it at the state level and cover all 120 counties. And they have finally been successful in doing that. Ms. Buckles, I know it's a cause that
It
you
is.
champion.
Yes, absolutely.
So they will be mailed to you. You just need to go through the registration process to make sure you're part of Dolly's Imagination Library. Jimmy Fikes, who is the all-time winningest coach in the history of Western Kentucky University football, was named to the 2024 College Football Hall of Fame ballot, which was announced by the National Football Foundation. He was previously on the ballot in 23, 2019, and then 1997. He is the only football coach at WKU to eclipse the 100-win mark. He had 106 wins, 56 losses in his 16 years. Sam, this is he's been on the ballot several times. Any reason to think he's more likely to get in now than before?
I don't know who else is on the ballot to have a comment on it, but it would be nice. I mean, Fikes Field.
Sure. Well, he's got his own Hall of Fame there at Western, if nothing else. Dornoch pulled off the upset and paid $37.40 to win the Belmont Stakes. I came in from working outside all day. I sat down and I turned on the television, and it just happened to say the Belmont Stakes was on, and I said, okay, show me that. And they had just come out of the gate. So I was like, well, I couldn't have planned that out any better. That's the only reason I watched it, is because it was underway. So Dornoch won. Sierra Leone finished third. I think that's how it went. Dornoch held Mind Frame off. That would have been a huge payday at 17-1 with the long shot there. Sam, the Yankees lost 2 to the Dodgers, but at least won the last game last night. How did the Reds fare after their win on Thursday over the Cubs?
Well, so they did the opposite. They won the first 3 and lost yesterday. So they took 3 out of 4 from the Cubs. Yeah, we couldn't take every game from the Cubs. Had to let them have one. I mean,
Sure. Well, that math typically will work. If you can win 3 out of 4, and you can do that all the time, then you're in good shape. And then Caitlin Clark, not on the Team USA Olympic roster, so there's obviously lots of hubbub about that. She was pretty diplomatic about it. She said it's the most competitive team in the world, said she had a fire lit inside her that she would work harder to make the team in 2028. Should she have been on the roster, Sam?
If anything else, she should have, just for quote-unquote political reasons, as far as that'll get more eyes to watch. I mean, she has a lot of fans out there that would have watched their games if she was playing, whereas now they're probably not going to consume those games. I'm sure NBC wanted her to play.
Of course. Some off-record sources said that the decision was made to leave her off because they were afraid of the blowback they would get from the fans you refer to when she saw very limited playing time, because she's still just a rookie, and this is a who's who of the WNBA roster, and thought it might be unfair to her that she was going to have limited exposure anyway. The counter to that argument, though, is that Team USA in 1992 with the Dream Team, on the heels of Christian Laettner's play in the NCAA tournament, took him for political reasons and for exposure reasons, even though he was far from being the best player on the roster that year. So it kind of doesn't seem consistent between the two. Ms. Buckles, do you think if even if she were going to play a limited amount of time, should she be on the team?
I think so.
Just because of
Yes.
the frenzy that she creates?
I think so. I mean, being there and not being able to do as much is better than not being there at all. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's got to sting a little bit, but
Yeah.
she said the right things. She said she would work harder and she'll try and make the team in 2028. So we have that to look forward to. Got to get to a break. When we come back, got plenty more on the way. We'll talk a little bit about Father's Day coming up on Sunday. Also, tough conversations with kids. We'll cover that. And then what security experts say you should never do before leaving home. We'll talk about that and more coming up. You're on In the Know.
Everybody get ready, time to start a new day. Let's hit the ground running in a healthy way. Take a first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle. Fit as a fiddle on a July night. A walk around town will make you feel alright. Take the first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle.
Community Health Partners want you to be as fit as a fiddle.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues. The Watkins Funeral Home legacy, a steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwell. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogers-watkins.com or experience the Watkins difference personally on North Main in Litchfield.
Yellowwood knows that a five-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For five-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start August 19th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Cool off this summer at Litchfield Aquatic Center, featuring 2 3-story slides, or grab a tube and take a trip down the lazy river. There's separate tot and toddler pools with lots of great water features like fountains and slides. Plus there's even a lap lane. LAC is great for groups or individuals, and pavilion and facility rentals are available. Get a group of friends or the whole family together and spend an entire day at the Litchfield Aquatic Center on East Carroll Gibson Boulevard in Litchfield.
Do you know what red flags to look for when considering an investment opportunity? Fraudulent sellers might make unsolicited contact, tell you everyone is buying it, and pressure you to invest right now. They make hefty promises over the phone, but never put them in writing. At the Department of Financial Institutions, we have a saying: if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're on a mission to educate Team Kentucky and protect your hard-earned dollars. Visit us online at kfi.ky.gov for more information.
Apple is going to be showing off what's in store for their new product line today at the Worldwide Developers Conference. No word on what exactly is on the table this year, but the tech giant is expected to focus on integrating artificial intelligence into its software. The event starts at 1 p.m. Eastern and will live stream on YouTube, Apple's website, and the Apple TV app. Shares of the meme stock GameStop took a dive on Friday as the investor known as Roaring Kitty held a live stream. Shares of the video game retailer were down more than 33% when Roaring Kitty, real name Keith Gill, started his stream. The New York Stock Exchange halted activity related to GameStop shares over a dozen times over the course of the day. Shares of the stock were up over 90% in the last month after Gill returned to social media. However, shares remain below the peak of over $81 in early 2021, right before the price collapsed. And the federal government is launching antitrust investigations into OpenAI and NVIDIA to find out if they've become too dominant too fast in the AI marketplace. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield, NBC.
Today is Ballpoint Pen Day. iced tea day, and egg roll day. Good old egg rolls. Good old egg roll and some iced tea while you make some notes with your ballpoint pen. I also got so excited about the Cats headed to Omaha, I did not talk about the weather forecast. And it's worthy of mentioning because it will be pleasant and sunny to start the week. We're going to see some heat building as we get later. We get to Thursday and Friday, we'll get into the upper 80s and then may touch 90 degrees, at least briefly, on Thursday. If you get into early next week, you see a 96 and then a 94. So enjoy these 70-degree temperatures the first 2 days of this week. Then it will feel like June on Wednesday, and then it'll feel hot Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even more so on Sunday, which is Father's Day. And there are most dads, not all dads, but many dads, especially dads who have been dads for a long time. They have plenty of grill tools.
They do.
Dads who've been dads for more than 30 years and have multiple contributors to the Dad's Day treasures received. Probably an ample supply of grill tools have been presented. Unless you can find something that is some type of innovation that makes Dad's life easier, but just a spatula for the sake of spatula, probably okay. But instead of that, the Pew Research Organization says you could become a better person as a gift for Father's Day. The majority of dads say extremely or very important to them that their children be honest and ethical, 93% of them, hardworking at 87%, ambitious, 64%. These are as adults. Fathers also say it's highly important that their children become adults who help others in need. That's 78%. And are accepting of people who are different from them, 75%. So it could be just as simple as that. That could be the gift in and of itself, is just being better.
I guess you have to share this year, don't you?
I don't know there's such a thing as sharing. I mean,
well, there's a new father in your family.
Sure, but there have been lots of fathers in my family. So just carving out, to go from, let's just say, 165th to 166th is a nominal difference to be noticed. So I don't feel like it's sacrifice required on my part. Plus, he doesn't have near as much seat time as I do.
Does that not make it more special for him?
He didn't win a golf tournament yesterday.
He did,
you see that?
He did or did
He
not?
Did not.
Oh.
I don't think he did. I didn't talk to Cameron yesterday.
Oh.
But I did think when Scotty Scheffler was carrying Benny Scheffler off the green, I was like, that would be a great showdown one of these days, like in a big golf tournament, if you had Benny Scheffler and Brady Beal in the final pairing. I was like, I would watch that.
And so Charlie Woods? Charlie would be close to retirement then.
Yeah, Charlie would be an old man by then, because he's about to hit the tour. So congratulations to Scotty Scheffler, and congratulations to Cameron too. I'm sure he'll enjoy his first Father's Day.
Did you see the pants? The picture of the pants released?
Yes, I did.
I don't want to die.
I saw it. As I felt from the very beginning, the entire thing was overstated. Especially when he said he almost ran over me. I was like,
he had that little rip in his pants, though.
That's true, he did. You may be vacationing this summer, or you may just be part of your normal routine. You leave home for a few days. Here are some things that home security experts never do when they leave their homes, and maybe we can learn lessons from such. Some of these probably people are aware of, some you might not think of. 1, post your real-time location on social media. Here's a little friendly advice to you. No matter how many Facebook friends you have, I am going to make the bold prediction that not all of them are really your friend or would not take advantage of you given an opportunity. Think that's a fair supposition?
Very.
So when you broadcast to the world where you are at any particular moment, you are at least giving ne'er-do-wells a piece of information that they might use against you. So maybe, whether it's the concert or the vacation or the whatever it is might be, then maybe just keep that information a little more down home until you feel more safe. The second thing is forgetting to lock windows and doors and turn on the alarm system. It's shocking how often people do this and the number of burglaries that take place because the burglar could That's right. It does not. It does. I have found. I've observed over the years that if the keys are in the car, it is considerably easier to drive it away.
Especially with keys these
taking
days.
The same route. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Taking the same route every time you leave home. If you are very predictable, then they will almost be able to, Marv and Harry, they're just actually making a flow chart on who leaves, when, at what time, etc. And then they have all that information compiled and they can create a plan, hatch a plan to take your stuff. 4, leaving tools and ladders out. If ladders or tools are out in the open, this can attract burglars, not just because they see them and want to steal them, but they may use those very tools to break into your home. Like, here's a ladder for you to climb up to the second story of our home where there is a much greater likelihood that the window is unlocked. Because doesn't everyone feel safe on the second story? Like, nobody's ever going to climb in this second story window. No, not unless you leave a ladder in the yard. Keeping the porch light on during the day, if you don't normally have the porch light on all day and night, suddenly having it illuminated nonstop is a sign that the home may be unoccupied.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, look over here. There's a light on that isn't typically.
So one
for
pro
a
to the
long
smart
period of time.
It's one pro to the smart light bulbs and such now that you can completely program those.
Yeah, in fact, that's kind of what they recommend is creating different scenes. The next thing is letting mail and packages pile up. That usually gets attention. Like, hey, they haven't checked their mail in 6 days. Wonder what that could mean.
Or back in the day, the newspaper.
Maybe it's just that they're lazy. Neglecting lawn care and snow removal. Yeah. You're like, I wonder why they're not mowing their yard. Wonder why they would just be sitting in their house watching the grass grow and wouldn't come out and mow it. Wonder what that could mean.
For some people, that
lazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, for some people, that's exactly what it means.
It could mean what?
Because they're lazy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, with the other-
Yeah, it could mean absolutely nothing at all.
Yes.
Or their mower's broken.
Or
You really could walk in there to break in their house, and there they are, just sitting in their boxer shorts watching reruns of Friends.
Same. Hey.
Or even this time of year, with as much rain as we have had, the lawn care providers are having a hard time
keeping up,
staying ahead of the growing grass. So it could just mean that the guy didn't get there yet. Doesn't mean you're not home.
Maybe the old car's in the way. You don't want to have to mow around it.
That's the good thing about that this time of year. The weeds grow up through it, and they provide a natural shrubbery around obscure the car in your yard. The 8th thing, hiding a key under the mat or flower pot. No one ever thinks to look there.
You should get a fake rock. Nobody can tell the difference in those either.
It's the old trick too. No one ever thinks to look for a wallet in someone's shoe at the beach. Like who would ever look in a shoe for a wallet at the beach? And then leaving your car parked in the same visible spot. So if it doesn't move for days and it's just there, then maybe you want to get your neighbor to move it, or just do something. Put it in the garage, close the door, do something, but just don't be predictable.
Another thing too is like you haven't seen the dogs in a while. Like the dogs haven't been in the backyard. That's a little like what, as far as the routine thing.
Make sure somebody lets the dogs out.
Who?
Here are we talked about what dads want a moment ago. I ran across an interesting piece. This is from the University, of Pittsburgh. Here are the top traits men want in a wife, in order. A dependable character, emotional stability, intelligence, a pleasing disposition, sociability, good health, and at number 7, good looks. Here are the top traits women want in a husband. Dependability, maturity, a desire for children, intelligence, pleasing disposition, ambition, good health, good financial prospects. Good looks didn't even make the top 10. I'm not saying it's not important. It just didn't make the top 10 in the ranking of importance from the what the women want in the husbands. But I did see dependability was number 1 on both lists. Interesting.
It is important.
A hobby horse rider claps back at people who say it's not a real sport in a now viral TikTok video. Well, I agree. It is not a real sport. She's telling critics to hold their horses. A hobby horser who gallops and jumps hurdles with the children's stick toy fired back at critics who dissed the activity as easy in a video that has since gone viral.
That's pretty impressive, though. She can jump hurdles with that thing?
Hobby horsing is not a sport. It's easy and everyone can do that. Oh, yeah, she said sarcastically. Her name is Anna. She said in her May 28th video. It's amassed 47 million views since it was posted. It's 37 seconds long. It shows the flushed 16-year-old violently coughing and hyperventilating on a gym floor while other wannabe jockeys jump hurdles in the background. She said, "This is me after my dressage routine. I was passing out, couldn't breathe, almost throwing up, dizzy, shaking, whole body burning in pain." So like a really good, intense workout.
I guess.
One commenter said, "The best part in hobby horsing
I don't.
is that you don't have to do it."
Right.
You're choosing to do it. Hey, jazzercise and prancercising and all that stuff, those are great activities that you can lead you to panting, and they're maybe good exercise. Not a sport. Not a sport. I don't care how you cut it. Got to get to a break. Today's water cooler question is coming up. Your chance to win here on In the Know.
Your adventure awaits at the Kentucky Horse Park. Experience live horse presentations, meet retired racing legends, and get up close to unique breeds from around the world. Dive into equine history at the park's International Museum of the Horse. And for a truly immersive experience, get in the saddle for a scenic horseback ride. With activities for every age, the Kentucky Horse Park promises an unforgettable journey for all. Plan your trip by visiting kyhorsepark.com. That's kyhorsepark.com.
Be warned that once you pick up a refreshingly cold drink from McDonald's and people see just how refreshingly cold that drink from McDonald's is, you may create drink envy. Because there are drinks, then there are drinks from McDonald's.
Indulge in any size iced coffee for $1.99 or get a frozen Coca-Cola just $1.69. Plus any size soft drink or sweet tea only $1.39. At participating McDonald's.
Wherever you are in life, if you're in Kentucky, Medicaid may be available to you. With health coverage you need, health coverage that's cost-free, and health coverage that's available at any time. And it's easy to find a plan that works for you. So, don't miss out. Visit connect.ky.gov now, and let's get you covered together.
Holiday World and Splash and Safari, our family loves you. But look, I'm trying to teach my kids there's nothing free in life, And then we get here, and there's a lot that's free. Parking, sunscreen, soft drinks. We love water coasters like Mammoth, the new family coaster Good Gravy, and 500 drones lighting up the sky. But the whole ride home, all I hear is...
Free soft drinks! Free parking! Free sunscreen!
Okay, I guess some things in life are free.
Get tickets today at holidayworld.com.
I'm Deputy Eric Franklin with the Grayson County Sheriff's Department.
And I'm Officer Skaggs from Litchfield Police Department.
When working traffic in Grayson County, responding to crashes involving deaths or injuries is the toughest part of our job.
When you drive, there's so much out of your control.
But what you do have control over is wearing a seatbelt.
Less than 2 seconds, that's all the time it takes to buckle up.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Always. Buckle up.
A message from Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather.
While we'll have some clouds around for the afternoon, it's all about the sunshine for today with highs in the 70s. Now for tomorrow, keeping those 70s around with a mix of sun and clouds. For your Wednesday, warming up a little bit more as we return to the 80s for highs then. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrews.
All summer. This is the 105 Days of Summer. It's going to be the hottest summer yet. Brought to you by Midway Pharmacy. Summer! On the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.
Did you know? Before Google launched Gmail in 2004, so you remember early on in the email days, all websites had, you could get free email from them. That's how they wanted to build web traffic when POP3 servers were inexpensive and you could just, you could have, any weird email name that you wanted. Gmail between 98 and 2001 was actually a free email service on the Garfield cartoon characters website.
I love it.
And then in 2004, Google launched it as their full-fledged. It would be safe to say it has more users now than it did during the Garfield era.
Yes.
We even use a form of it. I mean, we use Google Workspace for ours, so we don't have @Gmail addresses that we use primarily, but it still kind of works on the same platform. Here's today's water cooler question. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win. You're going to text your response to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. Sam, do you remember what we did Friday? Did we do Holiday World, or do you know what was chosen?
It was, I believe it was Holiday World tickets that were picked by our winner on Friday.
That's all I've seen.
Beach Bend today. Beach Bend is up for grabs. 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. Here's the question. A new study says these are 48% smaller for a woman than a man. These are 48% smaller for a woman than a man. Text your response to 270-259-6000.
That's broad.
They're 48% smaller for a woman than a man. You having a hard time picking something?
One came to mind immediately for me, but
Yeah, me too, but it feels wrong too.
but I feel like I don't know if it's too obvious.
Yeah.
Bad Boys Ride or Die slaps away the competition. Apparently Bad Boys broke out of the slump that the box office has been in. $56 million in week number 1. Garfield at number 2 with $10 million. If at $8 million, The Watchers at 4.
It's Monday. I'm busy over here. I'm listening.
I heard it. Let's see.
I only have one more. Hey, Sam, you will appreciate this. Guess what Alea and I watched last night?
Garfield?
Yesterday. No, Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's an old one. Shout out to my guy from Union, though. Josh Hutcherson, I think, is in that.
Yes. I knew you'd appreciate that.
98-year-old Dick Van Dyke has become the oldest ever daytime Emmy winner. He was on hand Friday evening to receive his award for daytime drama series. He apparently played a character on Days of Our Lives, and that's how he got the nomination. It was funny. He said, if I had known I was going to live this long, I would have taken much better care of myself. But he's had great health. I mean, he's using a cane now, but that makes perfect sense. But yeah, he said, I'm 98 years old. Can you believe it? This tops a lifetime of 80 years in the business. I love you and God bless you. So great to see Dick Van Dyke. So much good content over the years. Chim Chimmery, Chim Chimmery. All right. Next on the list, Pat Sajak. His final episode of Wheel of Fortune aired on Friday, and they shortened the game. They eliminated one of the puzzles and then gave everybody $5,000 for the trouble. Then he took about a 3-minute monologue at the end where he did his thank yous and covered, I guess, most everybody. Obviously, he covered Vanna. They covered the crew that you don't see and don't know, many of people who had worked on the crew for as long as he had. He did thank or specifically mention his daughter Maggie, who's become, much more of a central figure, much as young people do. She kind of drives the digital and social area of that franchise. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't take a more visible role in the future. I don't know that she wants to be Vanna. There's a good chance that Maggie Sajak could be the host after Seacrest. It would make very good sense. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't just go straight to that because she's been around for a while. But anyway, he did a fine job. 41 years, over 8,000 episodes. And for those of you scoring, that's longer than Trebek did Jeopardy. That's longer than Bob Barker did The Price is Right. I mean, it's a long time running for Sajak. And he to me, he sometimes was a little corny, and that was fine. That's kind of that's the demographic that they're appealing to. But he also he seemed always genuine. He never seemed fake or haughty or pretentious or like he was a star. Even though they announced, ladies and gentlemen, the stars of our show, Pat Sajak and Vanna White, he said the stars were the contestants. And he enjoyed meeting each one of them genuinely and hearing their stories. He said they were from all different walks of life, from all over the globe, and so he was grateful. It came to a nice end. She did her send off to him on Thursday, and then he had a little more time on Friday, and that was nice. So you'll see him on reruns all summer. Then come the fall, when everybody's new seasons launch, you'll see the underworked, underpaid Ryan Seacrest. His parents must be thrilled that he finally got a job.
Yeah.
After laying around the house. He's been Matthew McConaughey in Failure to Launch his entire life.
Pretty much.
Now he finally gets a gig. He's going to have a W-2. He'll even need an accountant next year. He's going to have a real job.
Do you know any?
Bon Jovi recently released a new album, Forever, but it is unlikely the band will tour in support of it because of his ongoing vocal recovery. If you have seen Thank You, Good Night, the docuseries on Hulu, you will understand that his vocal damage, his surgery, and his recovery are a through line of the entire docuseries. And when it ends, he is on the road to doing something better and the launch of this album. But he says he can do one show, but he can't do 2.5 hours, 4 nights a week. So he is working toward that, and they are still hoping that maybe they will tour next year. But
it's not like he's a young pup either.
He's not. That's kind of like and what's funny to me is now you see him sometimes and you shake your head and you say everybody has to get old, I guess.
Yeah, I do. I mean, because he was it for me for quite some time.
Yeah.
And that's the only poster that I had. I wasn't allowed to have him on my walls. It was on the back of my closet door. I mean, he was, so it's kind of like, sit down, buddy. Let me keep you in my mind the way that you were.
But he is a young pup compared to Mick Jagger.
I don't care.
You don't want him to just sit down, though, do you?
Well, I mean, I don't know that you need to be making a new album. Maybe write songs for other artists or, I don't know.
Which he has done.
Yeah, I mean, just take a break. I don't.
Matter of fact, famously, they were giving You Give Love a Bad Name to someone else. And then when Desmond Child heard it, they brought Desmond Child in as a producer. They just needed to generate some content that they had written, and they were trying to farm out. They were going to farm out You Give Love a Bad Name to someone else. And when Desmond Child heard it, said, that's a hit. Like, you don't give that one away. You absolutely keep that one. Elton John's Cold Heart, the remix with Dua Lipa, has hit 2 billion streams. And surprisingly enough, Flowers by Miley Cyrus has now been #1 on the Billboard AC chart for 100 weeks.
Wow.
For nearly 2 solid years, she's been on that AC chart. So congratulations to Miley for making that milestone. So we're talking about Bon Jovi, but here we got Def Leppard into break. I don't know what's going on. Got to get to a break. We'll figure out who wins the water cooler question coming up here on In the Know.
You see it everywhere, from kids' sporting events to grocery stores, and these days, even on social media. I'm talking about parents who use shame to discipline their children. Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. Shaming a child can take a lot of forms, screaming at them, calling them names, even humiliating them in public. But the result is always the same. It damages the child. Shame is destructive because it drives children into hiding. They learn their mistakes bring condemnation. So instead of seeking help, they hide to avoid embarrassment and humiliation. Instead of the parent being a resource for them to learn and grow, they become the cause of the child's pain and isolation. Shame is also damaging because it attacks the person, not the behavior. Effective parenting teaches a child that a mistake is something they make, not something they are. When a child can understand that, they'll grow and mature. But if a child believes they are a mistake, they'll question their value as a person. And when a child doesn't feel like they're worth very much, their behavior doesn't get better. It actually gets worse. So parents, don't belittle or speak harshly to your child. Come alongside them with grace and love and help them to grow. If you've been shaming your kids and don't know why or how to stop, call one of our counselors at 1-800, the letter A and the word family for help, or visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten.
Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Smith Overhead Door is redefining entryways in Litchfield, where every click of the remote promises reliability. It's not just about opening doors, it's about lasting assurance. We offer a service that inspects each part, making sure your door system thrives. With our service agreement, with inspections up to 4 times a year, we spot the signs of wear before they whisper a problem, saving you more than just peace of mind. Opt for a 2-year plan and the savings rise. Make sure you get out the door with Smith Overhead Door at sohd.info. We're not just opening doors, we're opening possibilities.
EMB's point to ponder for today. What would be the worst buy one, get one free sale of all time? What would be the worst buy one, get one free sale of all time? I had a little time. I've had a head start on you all. So I quickly landed on colonoscopy. But then I wondered, well, but do you get to give the other one to the friend? Like, can you give it to someone else to where you don't have to endure it? Then would that be that bad? I don't know. So I could probably come up with worse ones than that. But I thought, well, that's something you wouldn't want 2 of. You probably barely want one.
My mind went somewhere similar, but I'm with. I mean,
I first thought lobotomy.
I wouldn't want to have to buy the first one. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like, okay, so
It's like, well, at least.
keeping in that vein, like enema,
Well-
I don't want to have to like buy the first one of those,
Sure, yeah.
right?
I mean,
Right.
could you say
So-
like plastic surgery, like a nose job? Like, buy one nose job, get another one free.
Yeah. Well, then that
And
would
you
be. Can you
can't give
share?
it-
Can you
yeah,
share with
and
a
you can't
friend?
give it to a friend. That would
Or
be a
can
bad
you-
But then
can you
again, what
reassign
friend are you going to say, "Hey, I got a free nose job. Would you like it?" Is that not going to cause some?
You know what? You know what you need? You need rhinoplasty. That's what you
Yes.
basically tell a
Look
friend.
at you busting out rhinoplasty over there.
Here's today. I know what rhinoceros means. Hello.
Listen, I wish Mom were listening.
The water cooler question. A study found 48% of these are 48% smaller for a woman than a man.
I don't know. I've feet.
Feet.
I
saw
did.
that-
I
saw
put
that
shoes.
answer, yes. You put
So
shoes.
same
Good.
thought process.
Right. You know what they
Nose.
say? You know what they say about someone with big feet?
Is it nose?
Big shoes. No, it is. it is pants pockets. Pants pockets are 48% smaller. They make pants pockets functional for men. They are merely decorative for women.
I would agree with that.
They're not quite big enough to be functional.
Especially somebody that, uses their pockets.
Sam, a lot of people guessed this, I presume. So the winner,
Looks like Jennifer is the winner.
Jennifer. Okay, all right. Very
Yeah,
good.
well,
Very good.
I've already had some contact with Jennifer, so she's
Okay,
headed
yeah,
to.
okay. Well, typically,
And
I
what
hear
she,
numbers,
what
I
did
was
she,
like,
what did she win?
Beach
Beach
Bend.
Bend today.
Okay.
Okay. On TV tonight, the Stanley Cup Finals continue. Yeah, we're running late. Goodness. Yeah, that's all you really care about. Today's good news. I didn't even get around to chart toppers. So today's highlight in history. This date in 1967, 6 days of war in the Mideast involving Israel, Syria, Egypt, Jordan, and Iraq ended as Israel and Syria accepted a UN-mediated ceasefire. Birthdays today, Dan Fouts is 73, Gina Gershon is 62, Elizabeth Hurley is 59, Tara Lipinski is 42. Gone but not forgotten, Hattie McDaniel in 1895, Prince Philip in 1921, Judy Garland in 1922, F. Lee Bailey, born in 1933. He just passed away 3 years ago, but he got famous during the O.J. trial. Chart toppers, Everly Brothers, Kathy's Clown in 60, Bad Moon Rising, CCR in 69. Tracy Chapman, Give Me One Reason in 96. Will Smith hit Switch in 2005. And Miley Cyrus, Flowers. We were just talking about that a year ago, was number 1. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, the most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music.